Welcome back to the channel for another video on our 05 STI. So I know last week when we wrapped the downpipe, I said we were going to jump on the fuel system and get our fuel pump and the new fuel filter installed, but a part finally arrived that I've been waiting like 3 months for. I ended up canceling my order with a different vendor and ordering it from Import Image Racing, and it was like 2-day shipping. So should have just done that from the beginning, but anyways, let me show you what part came in that we're going to be installing today. Let's go. All right, so over here at the bench, we have right in the middle our brand new Killer B Motorsports coolant expansion tank. I guess that's a mouthful, but that's basically what this is. So this, I really wanted to get this piece swapped out because that is like the ugliest thing in the engine bay. And this is just a nice, small, compact unit. And I really wanted to get this installed before we got the AOS or anything else installed, because I know you are going to have to trim the lines for the like the AOS to fit on either the stock reservoir or on this Killer B one. So if you cut it for the stock one, they'll be a little short when you try to install this. So I'd rather just have this installed already when we try to install the AOS and all of our other parts that are stacking up here. We have our new towel blow-off valve here, our torque solution adapter. But yeah, parts are piling up. We are running out of room. So, I mean, we have videos to film, but super excited to get this installed. Get this engine bay looking a little bit better. Each time we work on this car, it just gets a little bit better, and this piece is just going to make it that much better. So to get this installed, it should be pretty straightforward. We do have 2 bolts here on the intake manifold, and then we have 1 hose underneath and then 3 up top. So in theory, it is a pretty quick install, maybe a little messy because obviously this is coolant. Now, I've seen other people install this, and let me flip you around. I'll show you what hose I'm talking about. So when other people install this, usually these are pretty easy to hook up, but a lot of people have problems with this bottom hose. So we'll see what we can do as far as because we do need to trim this to fit on the new expansion tank. So we will get it mounted, see kind of where we need to trim this, and these should just hook up right away. But yeah, the install should be pretty straightforward. Now, every time we do work on the car, we do swap out the bolts. So I did end up, if you go over here, I ended up getting a whole zinc bolt kit. So I am just going to be swapping out our crusty bolts to some nice zinc ones. And I'll probably get all of these swapped out to that kit just so everything's matching. These are super nice, and I will reuse these somewhere else, but these are a little bit too like gold compared to that kit, and I'd rather just have everything matching. So I'll get all of these swapped out. We'll get these 2 swapped out with some new ones, and then, I mean, this whole reservoir is going to be gone. But enough talking. I'm really excited to get this part installed. Let me get you guys set up on the side over here, and we'll start taking some hoses off. Let's see how big of a mess we can make. Let's go. All right, so to start this, I do want to take this off and then clamp this bottom hose so we can just take this whole reservoir off. It is a 12 mil for both of these, so let's get that taken off. All right, with those 2 bolts out, you can see it just kind of wiggles around. It looks like at some point there might have been a bolt holding, a 3rd bolt holding it on down here, but that has since been removed on this car. So yeah, let's try to get this clamped right here. We'll take this hose clamp off here, slip these all off. All right, so we have that whole overflow tank out. We just have the metal hose right there, the 2 hoses right here, and the hose from the turbo just hanging out right there. And then over here at the bench, you see this is our crusty OEM unit, 2 bolts right here. This is the hose that might give us some trouble, but this is the hose that connects to that metal pipe in between the intake manifold. So this is the hose that we're definitely going to have to trim a little bit on this unit. That's going to go on this bottom port here. So I'm going to get 2 new bolts for our Killer B unit. Yeah, let's just get it like mounted up and kind of just start plugging the hoses in, and we'll see how much we have to trim this. But it really doesn't look that hard to do or anything. It looks like we might just have to trim it like, I don't know, maybe just like that much. I don't know. It really doesn't look like it's going to be that bad. Yeah, let's get it mounted up with our new hardware. We'll get this trimmed up a little bit and let's see how it looks. All right, so we just got it quickly mounted up so you can kind of see what our space limitation is. So we need both of these to connect right there. So I just wanted to get it mounted up just to see what we're working with right there. These hoses, they'll just hook up right away. So these are super easy, don't really need to deal with those. We're gonna get that bottom hose trimmed up and we'll get this bottom one connected and I'll show you what it looks like. So if you are doing this install, you can just trim this hose to look just like that and then you can slip it right on. So let's get it trimmed up and see how it looks. All right, and I didn't show the cutting, but after much cutting, this is what's left of that tube. So I actually didn't cut anything off this end that actually goes onto that pipe, and this is all that's left. So when I slip it onto the Killer B, it's basically like a straight 90-degree down, and it goes right onto that pipe. So this is what we're gonna roll with. I'm going to slip the clamp on right here, and it's already going to get clamped on. I'll have it oriented in a way so that it's decently accessible from up top. And then we'll just mount this bottom one up here a little bit, slide it all on, hook up all the hoses, and I'll show you guys the finished product in just a minute. All right, and our Killer B expansion tank is installed. We got our nice hardware. I actually got it installed in a couple other places. Shock tower, boost control, solenoid cover, and then I redid all of the ones up here. 2 more right there. Just trying to like clean it up a little bit every time we work on the car. Once we get the intake manifold taken off and we have like the TGVs and everything else, all the hardware down there will be replaced and we will get this re-cleaned up and recoated wrinkle red. But today we got the Killer B expansion tank installed and it looks great. And you look at the hose down there, it's not a like crazy bend or anything. Plenty of like meat for the OEM clamp to grab onto, and the OEM like clamp down there, like we didn't even trim the one down there, so that's just like fits just like stock. Now I did have to trim this bottom one just a little bit, just because it was just like way too long, and it was just like, yeah, easy trim and just like slid it on. Everything just fit perfect, and look how much more room we have. Like that big rusty crusty unit was like rubbing up against this intercooler pipe. Now we have so much more room. You can even see our injectors and everything. They do look stock because like the stock ones are yellow, but I do suspect these are Deechworks because this is a upgraded turbo, and I mean this car moves. There's no way this car has stock fuel injectors and can move like that. If someone knows how to tell which type of Deechworks these are, like I'm not sure if Deechworks puts an engraving or anything on their injectors, because they do use stock injectors and they modify them to whatever spec that you purchase. But yeah, if if you know how to figure out what these injectors are once I take them off, let me know. But we have so much more room now for the seal system that we're going to be putting in. We are going to be converting to a top feed fuel system with our IG TGVs over there. And we do have our radium parallel fuel system. This is our fuel pressure regulator. That's our fuel pump. But really excited to get all this stuff installed in a later video. Well, that's all I got for you guys on this one. Quick, fun video putting this Killer B expansion tank on. Honestly, I thought it was going to be much more difficult to install just based off some of the videos that I watched. People had a lot of difficulty putting on that one hose in between the intake manifold right there. And I just took my time, and we didn't even trim one side. We just trimmed a little bit at a time until it basically fit perfect. And it just bolted right on, no issues, and we just added our coolant back in, and we're good to go. But until next time, see you guys.